actual weight loss. Father, in the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, I speak to his body. I speak to his spirit. I speak to his soul. I command the body to start losing weight now.
Hey guys, Derrick Gates here. I'm going to do an amazing video today for you. I haven't done it. I've been wanted to do it. I haven't done it because I wanted to get further along in my journey than what I am now. But I just felt like it was time to talk about some pretty difficult things in my life that I've went through. And so basically, in a nutshell, this video is going to be about me. 800 pounds, 820 pounds is what I weighed at my highest, and my journey from 820 to what I am now, which is 300-ish, depending, I don't know, depending on what scale I use. So, you know, I guess what I'll do is I'll start out with, you know, people oftentimes want to know, well, how did you get to be that size? And I guess if I was to take it back, I would say that I've always struggled with my weight. You know, I was born a big kid. I was always a big kid. Always suffered from depression, so I always ate. You know, eating oftentimes is kind of, you know, what you turn to in depression, so I just grew, and then once I got into high school, I shot up. I got tall. I got big. I started to lift weights. I slimmed down quite a bit, did a lot of fighting, professional fighting, when I was in my early 20s and different things, but basically what I did, I beat up my body, and so I became very kind of bruised and hurt. My knees were shot, my back was shot, different things, and then what happened was I would just kind of gradually gain weight. Another thing was I used to be chronically addicted to drugs in my late teens, early 20s. I was chronically addicted to drugs, cocaine and methamphetamine, and when I stopped using drugs, my weight went up. And I'm glad to say I've been drug-free for 20 years. But you know, it's just crazy what happens is your body, my body had gotten used to being on that stuff, and so my weight gained. So then one day I twisted my knees on ice. I walked out on ice in Kansas City, and I twisted my knees, and I was just never the same, and I just had a hard time getting over that injury, and I was in bed a lot, and 1 month turned into 2 months, turned into 3 months, and I couldn't walk, and I was in a house that was like 2 stories, and I would just rarely even come down the stairs because it hurt me to go up and down the stairs, and I just started gaining weight, and 1 month led into 1 year, and then to 2 years, and I basically got to where I would only even leave the house maybe once a week, you know. And at the time I was a pastor of a church, and I would go, the only way I would preach is I'd set a stool at the front and I would sit. I was just so unhealthy, and then I skyrocketed, and my weight ballooned all the way up to 820 pounds. It was just crazy. You know, I was so depressed. I was angry. I was mad at everybody. I was just so angry, and the depression was so bad. I would roll over in the bed because I was basically bedbound. I would hardly ever. I'd walk to the bathroom and walk back. I'd either lay in my bed or I'd sit in my chair that would lift me up and down. I had one of those mechanical chairs, and I would Google how to kill yourself, most effective way to kill yourself, all these different things. I literally just thought that I was better off dead to my family. You know, I couldn't even hardly dress myself. My family had to put my socks and shoes on me. It was everything I could do just to shower and clean myself like a normal human being. And there's so many embarrassing things about it, you know. Just the body odor that comes off of somebody that big. It was just so very depressing. And you know, the thing is that only people that have been that big know what it's like. So me and my wife had talked about me getting the surgery for a while, and the bottom line is fear controlled me. You know, I was afraid to to have surgery. I was afraid I wouldn't wake up from surgery. I was big, I mean, I was so big that I had insomnia because I would just lay in bed at night and I wouldn't go to sleep because I was afraid I wouldn't wake up in the morning. I was afraid that I was going to stop breathing. I was afraid that I was going to have a heart attack. It was just an insane few years. And I was afraid I'd die. I was afraid to do nothing. I was afraid to do something. And some of you watching this are going to understand what that means. I was just afraid. And then I had a gastric bleed because my body hurt so bad. I was taking ibuprofen and Tylenol, like hundreds of them all the time. And it ate a hole in my stomach. And where it came out to where an artery was. And I bled out almost my whole blood supply. I mean, it was crazy. And anyway, I was hospitalized. They almost didn't get me out of the house because it was too small, and it was embarrassing that it was just an embarrassing situation. And so one of the things that happened though was that they put me under to do the surgery, and I came out of it okay, and it kind of gave me a little bit of confidence and a little bit, of just this courage to say, maybe I can do this. Maybe I can do it. And so I started going to a doctor and started trying to get my weight right and started eating right. I actually went vegan. We ate vegan for a year, and I lost the first 100 pounds just with diet. But I plateaued. I couldn't lose any more. I couldn't go to the gym. I was too big to work out. Even at 720 pounds, as 100 pounds lighter, I just couldn't do it. My knees wouldn't do it. I was embarrassed. I was just still depressed and still wanted to die. And it was just horrible. It was just horrible. And but something happened was that I had a surgeon that said, hey. So I had this surgeon that came to me, and he said, hey, I want you to do this surgery. And I'm like, first of all, I don't know. Second of all, I can't even afford that. I said, how much is it going to be? He said, well, because you're going to be the biggest person we've really ever done in Kansas City, it's going to be a lot. They had to have a cardiologist in there. They had to have several doctors. I mean, it was just this big process to get it done. And so it was like $100,000, and ended up being completely covered. I mean, it was just absolutely an amazing thing. It was like a God thing for me to have that happen. And what was really crazy was from the day I first went to the surgeon to the day I had the surgery was 5 weeks. It was that quick. And people were like, well, how did you get it done that quick? It's because I was going to die. That was the thing. Is literally they thought I was going to die. For me, this was a life or death situation. And and I had complete peace about it. By that point, I remember the day I showed up to the hospital for the surgery, and everybody thought I was going to be scared and freaked out. I wasn't scared at all. I had complete peace that it was going to be just fine, and that I was doing exactly what I needed to do. So I had the surgery done, which was a gastric sleeve. Basically, they take out a huge portion of your stomach, and they leave basically this tube worth of stomach for you that it's like a pouch or like a sleeve. And it changes your chemical makeup of your stomach. It changes your hormones. It kind of keeps you in a constant state of ketosis. Many people say it takes away their hunger, that they don't get hungry. I found that not to be true. I still got hungry. But I didn't have any side effects to the surgery, except for I think it took them 8 hours to do my surgery. The average is like an hour and a half. It took them 8 hours to do mine. I also woke up during surgery. That was weird. But because I was so big, there was a lot of I don't want to say complications. It was just complicated because I was so big. But I got out, I was fine. I started losing weight like gangbusters, and here I am 3 years later, 3 years, and actually coming up on 4 years. Coming up on 4 years, and I've lost a tremendous amount of weight, 520-ish pounds, and I feel great. People say, well, do you regret doing it? No, I regret not doing it sooner. That's what I regret. So I asked for people to give me questions. What are your questions? A lot of people watching this from the bariatric pages. A lot of my followers, I got 100 and some thousand followers. What are your questions? What is it you wanted to ask me about this? And I put them down. I got about 30 or so questions here, and I know questions were still coming in, but I think within this range, we'll probably hit on pretty much everything people want to know. So the first question here is, which is number 12 on my points. I got to keep a thing here or I'll get way off. So what are some of the things you believed diet exercise wise that were wrong? So things that I believed before that I found out were wrong now. Let's see. For me, I was always convinced that, if you just did a diet and you did all this stuff, that it would just work, but I could never get it to work for me. I did diets. I did fasting. I did the vegan. I did the, I did vegetarian. I did the juice fasting. I did the just 100% juice. I think I did that for something like 3 months. I did the cabbage diets. I did the potato diets. I did the, just salads, and it just never worked for me. People have this misconception that I just continued to eat junk food or whatever during that time, and I really didn't. It just didn't work for me. I was too freaking big. I think for me, it might have been just too much too late. I don't know. I tried the keto, all kinds of different things. It just did not work for me. It didn't work. Probably a lot of the reasons it didn't work that great for me was because I wasn't able to pair it with exercise, because I just wasn't healthy enough. So as far as that goes, that's kind of what I've learned about the exercise, or about the dieting. The next thing was how to get motivated and stay motivated. Do you want to live? That's kind of what it boils down to for me. I love life now, and I never want to go back to where I was. And so for me, that's how I stay motivated. Is I don't ever want to see where I was before. I want to live life. So that's how I stay motivated. And it's not just for me, it's also for my kids, for my wife, for my kids, for other people. I serve God. I'm a preacher, and it's for other people. So that's what keeps me motivated. What kept you going? So basically that's what's kept me going. What about skin after a massive weight loss? Does it make it harder to stay motivated? Skin, let's talk about skin. People all the time, they're like, well, do you have loose skin? Well, of course I have loose skin. I was 820 pounds. The more I lose, the more I kind of get this stuff. Like, a matter of fact, I look at some pictures when I was a little heavier, and my face, I think, even looks a little thinner then, because the more I lose, the more I kind of get this skin here. Trust me, I would like to get that fixed someday. That might be vain, but hey, it's my body. I've got lots of extra skin that when I sit down, it kind of looks like I still got this big stomach, but it's because that's all skin. I typically wear, like when I go out in public, or mainly if I go in public anytime, I have a stretchy suit thing I put on that keeps kind of my skin in place. I do plan on having the skin surgery done, and I've got about, matter of fact, my surgeon just told me last month if I lose 30 more pounds, he'll do the skin surgery. So, I'd like to lose another probably 50 pounds before I do it myself. And then he said I probably have 40 pounds in skin. And so That's kind of crazy. I mean, do I have skin? Yeah, I probably got 40 pounds of extra skin. Let's see here. How long did it take? I'm coming up on 4 years. Biggest obstacles? My mind. My mind was my biggest obstacle. It was really tough for me, and I think somewhere down it asked me about some of this, but it was really tough for me when I came out of surgery, because everything in life is surrounded by food, and I had learned to enjoy food, and so now I don't have that enjoyment anymore because I can't, you know, it was unfulfilling, you know, you go to a restaurant with all your friends and your family and they're all eating and they're smashing a buffet or whatever it is, and man, you just want to eat, and you take 2 bites and you feel like you're going to puke, you know. That was all psychological. I thought that my enjoyment was coming from food, when the reality was I just had to I had to refocus where my enjoyment comes from. So that was my biggest obstacle, was my own mind. Let's see here. Best tips. I think one of the biggest tips I can tell you is stop weighing yourself. And people are like, what are you talking about? You know, for the first 6 or 7 months, I wanted to weigh myself every day, and then I get frustrated when the scale didn't move. If you weigh yourself every day, you're just going to get frustrated. So stop weighing yourself, and you'll see the results, you know, if you stick to the rules. Amen? I say amen because I'm a preacher. It comes out. How are my knees? My knees suck. You know, I'm actually clinically disabled because of my knees. I have bad arthritis in my knees, and I'm bone on bone. However, my knees are tremendously better than they ever were before. I can go to the gym. I can walk. I can walk like a normal person. I can go to the store. I don't have to take the cart around. You know, I can go on walks. I can do stuff. But if I do too much, I'm going to be, you know, I'll be laid up I won't be laid up. I'll be in pain for a couple days or whatever. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I was 800 and some pounds, and my knees were already in bad shape, so you can imagine. What is your goal weight? You know what? So I'm 6'2" now. At one point, I was actually 6'4". I shrunk, actually, with the heavier I got, it compressed my body. I think I would look weird at 200 pounds or 225, so I would be actually happy around 250, to be honest. So that's kind of my goal. 250 with no skin and all that would be great. So overcoming stalls. So for me, because I stopped weighing myself every day a long time ago, years ago, the stalls they're not that big of a deal to me. Because basically what it works out to is I don't know if I'm stalled. You know, a lot of times I feel like I'm stalled. I'm like, man, I haven't really seen anything. And other people be like, oh man, you're losing weight. You know, I saw you last month, you've already lost so much more. And you don't always feel like that. But I would not weigh myself because I just didn't want to be disappointed. And I would just stick to my plan. I'd stick to eating right. I'd stick to those things. And it never failed. Every time I'd go to the doctor, I've lost. So, you know, that's probably weird advice for some of you. But if you just stop weighing yourself all the time, you don't even know you're in a stall. Just stick to what you're supposed to be doing. Let's see here. What has changed most in your life? Everything has changed in my life. Everything has changed. Well, I don't want to kill myself every day. That's a great one. You know, I can walk. I live life the way I want to live it. I do what I want to do. Nobody stops me. I don't stop me. My weight doesn't stop me. I can do everything I want to do. I can go on, I can go in amusement parks. I can, I can fly an airplane again. I don't have to have a belt extension, that whole embarrassing thing, or people staring at me all crazy. Now, here's the thing. Here's what's crazy. I'm 300 pounds. That's still big. I still got a long ways to go. And even at 250, I'm still big. I am a big, towering guy. I'm wide. I'm broad-shouldered. I'm built like a freaking like a lineman. That's my build. I'm big boned. So people are always going to look at me like I'm big. I'm tall. That's never going to change. But there's a difference between the way people look at me now and the way they used to look at me. Now they look at me like, wow, look at that guy. You know, that's a big dude. Before it's like, dang, look how big that guy is. Whoa, you know. And I much rather have this. Amen. Here I am with the amen again. Do I got an amen crowd? Amen. Hey. So let's see here. I mean, if I can be honest, intimacy with my wife changed. You know, I mean, gosh, I can't even, you know, I'm sure I don't have to explain this. 820 pounds. It was a little rough. You know, showering changed. Just being able to keep my body up changed. Everything has changed. Just to be able to, man, just the joy. Here's a great one. Being able to go into a department store, a JCPenney's or a Walmart or whatever, and knowing that I can find something to wear in there. You know, I don't have to go to the Fat Boy store anymore. You know, I lived basically at DXL for 5 years. You know, if I was going to get clothes, it was going to be there. I'm going to get a random cheap looking pair of jeans, knockoff jeans, and they're still going to cost me $70 at the Fat Boy store, you know. And now I can actually wear nice stuff from you know, anywhere that anybody else shops, and I love that. That's a great feeling. So I'm sure there's a lot of other things. Man, being able to do stuff with my son. Last summer, we went and rode bikes on Venice Beach together. You know, I hadn't been on a bike in like 15 years. You know, the freedom that I felt when I rode that bike with my son, and he was just having fun, and my family was there. You guys don't know what that means. I mean, maybe you do. Maybe people watching this on the bariatric, you know, pages know. But, you know, most people will never know what that means to us to be able to do something to gain your life back. Let's see here. What do you think the best tip you can give to someone else trying to lose weight? Get an image in your mind of what you want, and then just start pressing towards that image. Don't give up. Don't let depression take you over. Depression is a black hole. Just keep positive. Look at the wins in your life. Look at your blessings. Look at the wins and focus on that. And just know that, God wants it for you. He wants you to be healthy. And if God is for you, who can be against you? All right, let's see what else. How long has it been since I've been sleeved? 4 years almost. I think March 22nd will be 4 years. Did I lose my food addiction? I don't think I lost my desire for food or my love for food, but I did get a handle on the addiction to food. You know, I do food reviews and things like that, and so I love food. I like to cook. I like to eat crazy things and experiment and just I'm a foodie. So that love for culinary arts is still there, but the addiction that like have to have it right now is not there anymore. As a matter of fact, today I was up all day long and I didn't even think about eating until like it was almost 4 o'clock. I didn't even realize that I hadn't had anything to eat. And then I just had a little bit. As a matter of fact, I bought a children's meal. This is 4 years out. I bought a children's meal from Panda Express, orange chicken, and I had it at 4 o'clock, and then I had it again at 10 o'clock. The same meal, and I still didn't eat it all. I don't think I'm addicted to it anymore. I will say my sweet. A lot of people can't eat sweets after the surgery. Unfortunately, I didn't get that. I don't get the whole purging thing or whatever when people, I can't remember what they call it because I didn't get it. Dumping syndrome, I think is what they called it. I didn't get that, and I was kind of looking forward to that because I love sweet stuff. But I don't eat it all the time. I'm not addicted to it. You know, I don't have to have it. So let's see here. Example of a normal day food for me. So normal day, I'm probably gonna eat 2 meals. I'm not a breakfast person. I've never been a breakfast person. I'm a night owl anyway. A lot of times I don't go to sleep until 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So I usually eat 2 meals a day. They're small, very small. Like if I go to a restaurant and order like a hamburger and fries, I'm probably going to eat maybe half of the hamburger. This is 4 years out and I'm still this way. I might eat half the hamburger and a few of the fries. If I order a steak, I'm probably going to eat maybe about half the steak, depending on how big it is, and maybe a little bit of the potato. If we order pizza, typically I can only have 1 slice of pizza. This is 4 years out. And so that's typically my day, 2 meals, and I might have some random snacks in between, just, something small. I get real snacky on the road for some reason, and that's a shortcoming for me. I should probably eat better on the road, but I don't. For some reason, a lot of people have the surgery, you find yourself being able to eat chips a lot, and because you feel like you're eating a lot of them, you do that because you feel fulfilled, because you're used to putting stuff in you, and that's a bad idea because chips are not healthy for you. What was my relationship like with food before surgery? It's funny, I was just telling some people the other day, like I would be eating like the whole box of cupcakes in my room, in my electric chair, while I'm watching 600-Pound Life on TV, and like cry, it's just ridiculous, as I'm eating it. I was definitely addicted to food. Basically, it was kind of this. I thought I was going to die anyway, so I might as well die doing what I want to do, which would be eating what I want. That's what my relationship was like before. And I already talked about what my relationship with it's like now. What are some tips for people that are just getting started? Don't accept no for an answer. Go the distance. My wife was sleeved. The insurance turned her down one place. Most people would just stopped. But we ended up the same week finding another hospital that would do it. A lot of people had just stopped. Same thing happened with my second oldest daughter. She got the sleeve done, same exact thing, and they did really great. My mother, same thing. She got told no and was like, I'm done, I'm this. And then she ended up getting it done at my hospital from my surgeon. And boy, she looks fantastic. And so a family that sleeves together, lives together, stays happy together. A family that, I don't know, something like that. So, let's see. Prior to surgery, what diet did you follow? I didn't really have one until I knew that I was, at that point, I had done the vegan thing. I'd lost 100 pounds, and then I wasn't losing anymore, so I kind of just went back to doing whatever I wanted. Until, they told, I had to do the liquid diet, and that was about it. I didn't really go on some long diet plan to lose anything before I had the surgery. Let's see here. What do you think is the best tip you can give to someone else trying to lose weight? Again, don't stop. Don't ever stop. Just keep going, no matter what. Just kick depression, kick laziness right in the butt, and just keep moving. Did you go through any type of spiritual deliverance in your weight loss journey? I've had different kind of inner healing, just about my own shortcomings in my life, a lot of spiritual cleansing. So yeah. How did I break my plateaus? I already talked about that. I didn't receive plateaus in my life because I didn't know I was on them. Really, and it's probably still the same case. I don't really weigh myself unless I'm at the hospital or the doctor's office. Is there anything in my life that I can't eat anymore, like dairy or certain carbs? I don't eat carbs really anymore because carbs are just empty and they make me fill up quick, and I'd rather have protein, something significant if I'm going to eat. Dairy, I can't have dairy. Which is weird because before this, I would drink like a gallon of milk a day or more. And now, I mean, if I have dairy in my coffee or cereal or whatever, I'm immediately in the bathroom, and it's bad freaking news. So I've got to use non-dairy stuff, non-dairy milk, and anything I eat. Even ice cream, it makes me sick. Mayonnaise makes me sick because it's got dairy in it, I believe. I don't know, but it makes me sick. Salad, I can't eat salad anymore, man. Salad, if I have salad, within 20 minutes I'm in the bathroom, and it's bad business for everybody. I don't know what it is, but so mainly salad and dairy are the two things that I can't eat anymore. And let's see here. How do I motivate myself daily? I get up and I realize this is another day that I should have never had, because I was so big I should have been dead a long time ago. Every day is a blessing, and I just keep moving forward, because if God kept me alive this long, it's for a purpose, it's for a reason, and I just choose to keep moving for Him. Struggles, emotional. Do you struggle with body? I think it's dysphoria, I think is how you say it. So, you know, there have been emotional things along the way where, you know, sometimes I still even today, still picture myself big. One of the things that took me a long time to do was when I took a corner, I'd take it real wide, because I was, you know, I felt like I was still big, and I still would see myself that way. So it's taken me a long time. There was a lot of emotional stuff. Just living through that and making it when you didn't think you were going to live was very emotional. My body, a lot of times I do, you know, I do think bad about my body. You know, I don't like my skin. You know, I look at it, I'm like, I don't like this. One thing is, like, the skinnier I get, the bigger my ears are, or my nose, and I don't like it. But I just have to focus on the fact that, you know, I should be dead. And man, you know, honestly, my wife loves me. She thinks I look great, and I'm, you know, I'm getting to a place now where I'm happy. I'm happy with the way I look. You know, it's not a pride thing, but I think I'm a nice looking man. You know, especially from where I was. So it's just confidence. It's not pride. It's confidence. What is life like for you now? I talked about that. It's amazing. Life is absolutely amazing. I'm able to enjoy everything that I ever. There's nothing that I couldn't do now, really. You know, I kind of want to run a marathon. I've been thinking about doing that, but I think I'll wait until I lose this next 50 pounds and have the skin surgery done. I'm worried about my knees doing it, but I want to do it before I get any older. I'm 41, so by the time I'm 44, 45, I would like to run a marathon, just to do it, just to say I did it. Let's see here. Oh, this is a good one. How did people look at me beforehand? So this is interesting. So I'm a preacher, and I know where my gifting is in it. And so a lot of people watching this may not understand this, but people would look at me as a big person and say, well, that guy doesn't have God in him, or he can't be a good preacher, or he can't be, you know, anointed by God because he's so big. And as soon as I got lower in weight, the phone wouldn't stop ringing. You know, people wanted to book me, and look, I'm the same man I am today as I was when I was 800 pounds, but they just didn't want to see it. So even the church judged me for my size. People in public, you know, the kids, I remember some of the most hurtful things. It's not the kids' fault, but some of the most hurtful things that would happen to be, you know, a kid would be like, hey mom, look at that fat guy. God, that sucks. And I know some of you guys have seen that, you know, you've had that happen to you, you know, and you just walk away, or, well, write a card away or whatever, and you're just heartbroken, but there's nothing you can do about it. And, you know, now it's, you know, it's interesting, you know, and again, I'm happily married, but, you know, I go into a place and women look at me, you know, and you know, and they get, you know, I've had women wink at me, or women, you know, obviously they're sending signals, and that's just an interesting feeling for anybody, you know, male or female, you know, when people start thinking you look good again. And, but the crazy thing is that we're the same people, you know, it's the same person on the inside, even though this is the inside even has gotten healed. But I'm no more of a man of God now than I was then. I'm no more of a great person now as I was then. But you know, people do look at people different, for sure. And that's it. So guys, that's all the questions that I have. I know people are still posting them, but I'm sure the video is long enough already. But listen, I love you all. If there's anything I can do to help anybody, to motivate anybody, I would, if people need a coach to just give them something encouraging, if you guys just ever need a word, if there's anything I can do to help you guys, just drop a comment. If you're on my page, right, my YouTube channel, just feel free to come along and subscribe and join the journey of us living life. We have this YouTube channel where we do crazy stuff and live life, and you can kind of track with the journey, and come and be a part of the journey with us. It's not just spiritual stuff, it's crazy stuff, it's having fun, it's living life. Subscribe, ring the bell, press the like button, and come along with the journey. Look, if I can do it, anybody can do it. If I'm just telling you, man, if I can do it, you can do it. I believe in you, but more importantly, God believes in you. Even if you don't believe in God, God believes in you. So, guys, listen, peace out, have a great time, stay on your plan, do what God has called you to do, just go the distance, run the race, and don't stop. Just keep moving.